happened if Ulrich had killed Helge? I kind of have an answer for that, but
wow, you have the answer?
well, I mean, kind of. I mean, just
I'm intrigued.
Well, I paused there because I didn't know if you wanted to jump in.
I mean,
okay, I'll keep going.
I mean, I think you should keep going. Yeah.
Okay, I think the simple answer for that is there's no way that Ulrich could have killed Helge, because Ulrich has already seen and encountered Helge as an old man. Therefore, there's just no possible way that he could have killed Helge. Even if he'd smashed the rock as hard as he could, something would have prevented that from happening, because we already know that Helge grows up to be an old man. So, like, we see things linear, 1, 2, 3, young, middle-aged, old. But in this case, we see old first. We meet old Helge first. So then when we meet young Helge, there's no way that old Helge can exist unless the young Helge exists and grows up. So if Ulrich had, tried to finish the job and tried to kill Helge, I just don't think I think it would not have been remotely possible. That's the conclusion that I came up with, is because he's dealt with the old Helge already.
Yeah, there's actually a moment in this episode that we'll get to in the recap when Ulrich kind of has this moment of confusion because he believes he can change, as he said, I can change the future and the past. And it's one of those moments when you want to sit Ulrich down and go, Ulrich, buddy, that's not how time travel works. Have you watched Back to the Future yet?
Have you seen Sliders? I mean, come on, we know this.
Yeah, he's operating on a set of rules that don't exist, but it's that thought that, yes, I can have an impact on something in the timeline. Right. And, there are movies where that works. So, not Back to the Future, but there are other movies where it works. And I think that it's just... yeah, it's a great point to bring up, and there'll be a couple of moments in season 2 and season 3 as well where a character again tries to exert some type of force, and just like what you said happens, that there's no universe that exists where you can accomplish that goal.
Right. And time travel is handled in different shows and different movies differently, and it's really botched a lot of times. I got to admit, you kind of, I guess my earliest example is the movie Time After Time, which I saw sometime like in the 80s. And like in that movie, a guy went back and changed time. And, I thought that was so quaint at the time. But then thinking about it and comparing it to Dark, it's like that could not have happened with the real laws of reality, because we're dealing with fantasy, but also Bo and Jonte mix in, actual physics with us, and I think the reason that we're even doing this and that we're giving the show credence is because we do know that they stuck the landing here at the end, and they kept everything consistent, and I don't think there's a whole lot of holes we're going to find. But that's the thing that was going through my mind when this episode, when I saw Ulrich sitting there in front of the bunker, all those thoughts were going through my head. Like, oh, what if he had killed him? Let's see. Let me try to play this out in the show. And it just did not work. And then I realized, oh, well, that's because he has to live. There's no way he could not. It's like what's that movie? Final Destination. Ulrich got Final Destinationed.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen the thriller series or read the book, the 11/22/63 by Stephen King? Did you ever?
Oh no, no.
Oh, well, it's a very interesting one where a guy, finds a doorway to the past, and he's trying to stop JFK from getting shot. because he's basically told that this is the event that changed the course of American history, and if JFK wasn't shot, then the world would be a better place.
Okay.
And so the guy keeps going back, through a time loop. He gets so far and then he fails, and so he keeps going back. And he's horrified to discover at the end that he has just created more realities.
Right.
So it turns into a multiverse thing. But that's kind of the idea here. If he managed to kill Helge, it wouldn't be this reality. It would have to be a different reality or a different dimension, a parallel world. But yeah.
That sounds cool. I know about that book, and I assumed it was about JFK based on the date. So I just thought it was like Stephen King's funky take on the JFK assassination. I didn't know it had anything to do with time travel, so I should check that out. Absolutely. And speaking of checking things out, we should check out this episode, right, Lindsay?
Yeah, let's check it out. One of the things I really like about this episode is that it uses a frame that